Welcome, Queen. Happy International Women's Day. Listen, the last time I had someone come to pick me up, they got out and knocked on the door. And often we can dismiss those important qualities about people. So I want to know, when people come to pick you up, do they do so in a way that is respectful? Now, if you're saying, I don't know, or you just want to know more, today's video is for you because we're talking when disrespect speaks. So let me set the scene. It's about 6:50ish in the morning, and I hear, bum, 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 bum. 5 or 6 seconds pass. Again, bum, 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 bum. Another 5 or 6 seconds pass. And then again I hear ba 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 ba. So I got up and I went to the door and I opened it and I looked, and there is this sedan sitting outside of the neighbor's house with the windows up. Now I looked at the door. No one was coming out. I looked back at the driver. And I really looked at them. And I did that back and forth a couple times so that they could know that, hey, yes, you have been heard. And if you are coming to get someone from this house, clearly at this point in time, they are not coming out. Maybe you have the wrong address. Maybe they aren't ready yet. But either way, sir, you were heard. Now, this is the response. The response I got was the driver. He put his window down, and I mean the passenger window all the way down, and then turned up the radio. At that point, I knew the type of mind that I was dealing with that was being shown. And so I just end up closing the door because there are some times where we must use discernment to recognize when we have a person who just is simply unaware, and then when we're dealing with a mindset of a person who just doesn't care. There are two different mindsets. But I share this with you because too often we are dismissing disrespect and we aren't even aware of it. And here's how I know the young lady who he came to get dismissed it. The very next day, which was yesterday, she's getting ready to leave. And as she's driving by my house, she too put the passenger window down. Now, typically, she does not speak to me at all. And she just starts saying, look, look, look. And at that point, I knew that the driver had communicated to her prior to that I had come out. But it wasn't because I was trying to see her. It went way over her head. She missed it. And too often we can miss the subtle ways that disrespect shows up. So I ask you to let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Have you ever had someone come to pick you up and they were in a hurry? It appears they were in a rush. Do you feel the driver that I described was disrespectful? Do you feel they were impatient? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear from you. Now, I share mine with you. Go ahead and you share yours. But here's also what I want you to know, what I want to share with you. There are times where we teach people how to treat us. And when we don't recognize the ways in which we teach people how to treat us, they will continue to mistreat us because we didn't properly teach them how to treat us. So as it relates to someone coming to pick you up, here are some things that I recommend to be on the lookout for. Patience, politeness, and promptness. Now let me break those down for further. Patience. As it relates to patience, this person should give you the chance, the opportunity to at least get out the door. So in the incident that I described for you, just think, depending on how big your home is, how long typically does it take you to get from the furthest end of the house to your front door? Is that more than 5 seconds? Because here is the thing. Sometimes people take for granted what other people have going on, especially in our neighborhoods. And as a sidebar, let me say that sometimes we wonder why we have certain activities, certain things happening in our neighborhoods, and it's because too often too many people overlook or dismiss things as it's not their issue, it's not their problem, they're not going to say anything, they're not going to get involved. But I want you to consider that, like I said, the incident that I just described. If you just got through working a graveyard shift and you got home at 2 or 3 in the morning, what are you most likely doing and it's not even 7 a.m. yet? You're probably sleeping. If you have a newborn and you just put that newborn down a couple hours ago, what is your newborn most likely doing? And it's not even yet 7 in the morning. Your newborn is asleep. So I can give you more examples, but you get the picture here. So when I say patience, patience matters. And it doesn't just matter to you, it matters to those around you. Because when people come through your neighborhood and they're making noise, that noise impacts other people, not just the person who they intended attention to get. The second thing, politeness. Yes. Are they polite? Did they give you a chance to grab your coat, get your hat, get your purse? Grab a bottle of water on your way to the door. Are they polite with how they showed up to get you? Did they greet you? In this incident, again, if this young man was in a hurry, he did not want to wait. He was thinking maybe she did not hear him. You know, there is a little thing called a cell phone, and I'm sure we all have it. I was gonna grab mine for you, but you know what a cell phone look like. Pick up the phone, let that person know. Can't they do that? Absolutely. Why didn't he do it? Your guess is as good as mine. Or here's another thing, like I said at the beginning, get out and knock. Hello, your legs do work, right? Think about the different ways people can show you how they value you and show you that they are polite. Because in this incident, I did not see that with this young man. And the third thing, promptness. Listen, too often we think of promptness of just showing up on time. And that's not wrong, but it is incomplete. Because promptness is more than just showing up on time. Consider this. Promptness is also letting people know where you are in the journey, in the process, as it relates to this incident. Excuse me, y'all. He could have said to this young lady, hey, I'm on my way. I'll be there in about 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Whatever the time frame, he could have gave her a point of reference. What does that do? It then gives her the opportunity to say, hey, I'm not going to be ready in that amount of time. I'm going to need an additional 20 minutes or an additional 30 minutes. You see, when you clearly communicate on the front end, you often minimize or eliminate stress and frustration on the back end. Because often if we give people notice, they can communicate or they will communicate with us if that notice is sufficient for them. And I know some of you may be thinking, well, when he got there, she should have been ready. But let's consider the fact that maybe he didn't tell her he was on the way. Maybe he expected her to just be outside waiting on him. I don't know, so I can't speculate there. But there are things that people can do to communicate promptness to us that better prepares us for their arrival. So think about those things. Are the people that's coming to get you, are they patient? Are they polite? And are they prompt? Because if they aren't, and you are accepting it or dismissing it, like this young lady, she just dismissed it, it just went over her head, then you are teaching people that it's okay to disrespect you. It's okay for them to just show up and expect you to just come out running. Now, if that's how you like to be treated, then you won't have an issue with that. But if you say no, that's not all right with me, I want you to truly think about and reflect on the relationships that you have in your life and how people treat you in those relationships. The nonverbal treatment as well, not just verbal treatment or verbal exchanges. Non-verbally, what do people communicate about how they see you, about how they value you? You should be able to recognize whether or not they are treating you well or whether or not they are, like I said, disrespecting you. So, ladies, let's stop normalizing disrespect in any form because our self respect depends on it. As always, I'm Coach Sam telling you that 24 hours doesn't seem long, but in 24 hours, you can change your life. So go ahead and do something life changing now.